Hello folks, and my thoughts are rambling a little bit because I have a lot to talk about, so this will be one of the longer ones. Let me move my keyboard. I put on a better shirt. My mother used to say to my father, "You dress like a rag man and you've got $40,000. So today I'll call myself the rag man. The rag man talks about Ebola, and my best information or source, I think, is Dr. Nyman. Also, if you want to keep up with things, we're complete people. We're not what we see on or YouTube or Forge of Empires or Warcraft. We're what we are, and losing some of these things doesn't make us less of a person. A lot of these facts at the first minute, which is actually the second minute coming up in this production, come from Dr. Nyman. He said over 3,700 deaths, but likely 20,000 actual cases. And my figures going back, not to September, but back to August, I said doubling. Looks like every 3 weeks. It seemed like other people picked up on that, whether probably coincidentally. I won't take credit for it. And the big thing is it came to the U.S. On Tuesday morning I felt compelled. Let me take a sip of coffee, since this is going to be a little longer one today. Tuesday morning I felt compelled to say, ask the question, is it coming to the U.S.? And I think I said, quite probably, or something to that effect. Well, it's uncontrolled, the term they used, and it's in the U.S. And to talk about some of the details, the fellow came from West Liberia. However, it doesn't appear to be a direct flight. He apparently stopped in Belgium and maybe took even more than 2 planes. So it wasn't a direct flight to, say, Dallas from Monrovia. Monrovia is the capital of Liberia. Again, Sierra Leone, Guinea are the 3 hard-hit countries. Nigeria, it seems to be more under control. And then the other 2 countries, Congo and Senegal. Well, there's a 7th country now. The U.S. is the 7th country, to me, officially. It's not out of control totally in the U.S. yet. The fellow went to the hospital. The nurse or the receptionist wrote he was from West Africa. The observing physician, who could quite well have Ebola now, I hate to say, he either missed it, overlooked it, wasn't told, I don't know. But it was recorded he was from West Africa. And I'm getting hatred here. Well, I tell the truth. People should watch me. You watch someone who gets paid to lie, you're not going to hear the truth. He was sent home. There's 5 children, evidently all family members, either nieces, nephews, his own children. They were exposed. They have been sent home from school. I heard the name of the high school. I don't remember quite the name right now. It could already be in the high school. I've talked about the, it's not airborne per se, but it spreads quite easily. It's not locked in like AIDS is. Fortunately, AIDS is hard to get. This is not so hard to get. If you want the proof, and you can either believe me, Dr. Nyman, the people who know. You can believe the CDC, who says you have to, like, handle their urine or sweat. If they sneeze on you, it looks like you're going to get it. Don't you think all these healthcare workers and doctors knew that? I think what the facts are for Liberia, I think the top 2 medical people in the country died, and the 3rd one put themselves under self-quarantine. Don't you think these people know to take some precautions? So it's obviously more easily spread than you're led to believe. That's why it could already be in a certain high school in Dallas. If I was God, well, I would use that magic vacuum cleaner, but if I was governor of Texas, I would shut those 4 darn schools down where the 5 kids go to. I would shut them down. See, we're real liberal on letting millions of people cross the border, but when you crack down on American citizens, they look at somebody the wrong way. They're liable to get tased, jailed. There's no common sense. You have a bunch of crooked politicians running things. I'm not saying the governor of Dallas is a crooked politician, but I have no respect for any senators or congressmen anymore, and few, if any, governors as well. You have to put a stop to these things. When people get to office by speaking lies, well, and by getting money or making money illicitly, when those people, they're not going to have any real world. They're not going to be able to deal with anything. They didn't deal well with Katrina. They're not dealing with Fukushima. What their status is to lie about Fukushima. So now, as I talked about prognosticating and looking ahead, we're down by the road. We're down by that first signpost. Ebola is in the U.S. So now things are a lot worse. Now things, instead of 50-50 really being a worldwide pandemic, you're looking at more 60-40 at least. You have idiots running things. They're not going to stop it. Now, there may be vaccines coming up. I do not plan to take a vaccine. There's a lot of evidence in even recent years that vaccines help spread diseases and didn't stop them. That's your choice. I wouldn't tell you what to do with you or your family or your kids. I would choose at this point not to take a vaccine if they come up with it. The ZMapp, again, the ZMapp is only available in small doses. You're talking, I don't know, a rough estimate, 1 2 dozen people could be cured every month. It's genetically modified, related to tobacco plant. And by the way, belladonna is related to the tobacco plant too, which is a deadly poison. So, and anyway, I have some allergies to tobacco. It's another reason for myself not to be taking it. But of course that's the cure, not the vaccine. The vaccine might be just, they already tried this, as you would think, taking blood of infected people, or I would take it from people who survived, not the infected people. I'm not a PhD, I'm not an MD, I wasn't a crooked, lying, cheating son of a gun enough with the ruling class. I was never going to get too far. But to me, you take it from someone who survived, you take their antibodies. You don't take it from someone who's still infected. There's some differences. I'm not saying it would definitely make a difference, but it's some differences. And they haven't seemed to have much luck with this course of action anyway. But and how they can make the vaccine when it's and make plans to make people take it when they haven't had it working yet. Well, to make money, that's the thing in the United States. Make money, to hell with everything else. I'm getting on into the 10th minute. I have more to talk about. I think I'm going to stop this here and maybe save the stuff for the later broadcast. But be careful out there, folks.